What's just happened?
Okay, that should be a little nicer. Uh, yeah, I know. It's because I was talking through my headphones and everything went a little bit funny, but it's all good. I've got my dartboard back and I've got my voice back. Um, so yeah, I know I don't want to disappoint anyone. If you want to do Goosebumps, we can do some Goosebumps. I can set Goosebumps back up. That's okay. But I had such a fun time last week doing stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. Doing a coffee.sip style ranking that I thought, let's pretend it's on purpose. Let's pretend like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Um, so we can decide stuff. And let me explain how it's going to work. So what we're going to do, this dartboard that you see here, yes, is real. It looks fake, but that's real. And we're going to decide what that represents. We're going to decide
Let's go!
what that is as a spectrum, as a political spectrum. And then what I'm going to do, right, is look at that. Wouldn't that have been good if that went straight in the bullseye? Uh, that's so close. That was such a close. That would have been the coolest clip we could have possibly got if that had gone straight in the bullseye first time. Um, we're just gonna throw it at the board, and we're gonna see where these things land on our dartboard spectrum. Haven't thought about it much beyond that. It did occur to me this morning, after days of having this in my head, that I obviously control where the dart goes. So I'm just going to be doing like I did just then and kind of flinging it without really aiming that well, and just seeing where it goes. I don't know how I'm going to collect the board without ruining the illusion of my floaty head. I haven't thought about that either, but we'll just see, shall we? So yeah, this is, and if you never refresh the stream, if new visuals just popped up, and you don't know, this is oche.sip, which I don't know if that joke comes across. Don't know how much of a darts culture the rest of you have grown up with. An oche is what you stand on to throw a dart. That is the wordplay. And so we're gonna be putting things on a spectrum by flinging sharp objects in my flat and trying not to hit my equipment on the way. Well, I can pause the floating head, but the thing is, I'm going to have to walk over to that dartboard, and you all are actually going to see me because I'm going to be in front of the physical dartboard. There's no getting around that. I can't invisibly pop over. I guess I could put a chroma key on the dartboard camera, and then it would just have an arm shaped line popping in. But I don't think that's worth it. So let's have a see what this looks like, shall we? Yeah, that's fine. Who cares? You can see that I've got an arm. Yeah, the arm is my assistant. I've got a green armed assistant. Where's my other dart? There we go. I could no, you're right, numbers. Yeah, I could pause both of them, but that seems like a lot of effort, considering I don't know how much any of you have really bought into this idea. I think some of you may have figured out how I do this already. So this is fine. Yeah, it's the magic of theatre. It's absolutely fine if I have a part frog, part man assistant. So let's do a Draza, shall we? And let's figure out what the spectrum looks like. So I'm envisioning it's a top down left right spectrum, right? It's left right, authoritarian, whatever. Uh, what do we think? I don't even know what we're ranking. Last week we ranked celebrities politics, and that was fun. And I like talking about celebrities, and I like talking about politics, so we can do that. Or we can throw anything at this for any reason. There doesn't need to be that much thought. I just had this idea of having a dartboard. I haven't thrown darts in so long. I really like darts, but I've deliberately, even when I had this idea in my head, not practiced because I don't want too much control over the darts. Pepto sandwiches, top down. So watery at the top, pitchy at the bottom. Okay. Celebrity athleticism. Sure. I think both of those ideas can work together. So we're ranking celebrity athleticism, and one of the axes is viscosity. Okay. I don't hate that. How viscous is Stephen Baldwin? That's a good point. So right, let's add some text in then, shall we? Text. Okay. And this first bit of text is going to say watery. There we go. So it's going to say watery. We'll put that at the top. So if it lands up in that part of the dartboard, that is watery. It's a little hard to see on the yellow dartboard, but we'll know what it is. And now let's add another bit of text. And pitchy. Is pitchy the opposite of watery in terms of viscosity? Not sure. Not really sure what you mean by pitchy, but let's put it on there. Yeah, not 100% sure what a pitchy state of being is. So we got watery, we've got pitchy. Okay, but now we need a left and a right. Yeah, we'll discover. Because as the dart lands, we are going to obviously have to justify where it's landed for whoever we've chosen. So say we start with Stephen Baldwin and it lands on pitchy. We're going to have to figure out what it is about Stephen Baldwin that makes him pitchy. And this seems like a good idea. Darts is one of those things. It seems like I feel like I'm being exchanged, being like, God, I'm throwing these darts inside. But you're supposed to throw darts inside. I mean, there are lawn darts, but otherwise, you don't throw them anywhere but inside. You're always supposed to throw these sharp objects inside. Regular, celebrity, exquisite. Well, I think celebrity and exquisite. Obviously, I worship at the altar of celebrity. So let's do regular. Think you're right, because this also is my other favorite thing of ranking what tier a celebrity is in the first place. All right, so we've got regular there, and then we'll have. You see, this is why I was a little cagey when you said, "Are you doing more Goosebumps?" So I was like, God, if people want to do Goosebumps, we can. But just spent my morning setting up the dart camera. I don't want that to go to waste. I mean, this can help us. You know, this is like a drama exercise. You know, you're gonna get inspiration for how to write your new character, how to write your new thing. Yeah, I'm following my heart. My heart told me I figured out how to have a dartboard appear on my screen that is actually right here in real life. So, got my dart. Okay, got my next dart, and we're saying Stephen Baldwin. Stephen Baldwin's going to be our test throw. Okay, so let's figure out who is Stephen Baldwin. So, oh, that's almost dead center. On the watery pitchy axis. So, but more regular than exquisite, which I'm taking exquisite to mean celebrity as well. So this is ranking them in terms of fame. That is more famous than I would have said Stephen Baldwin was had it just been for me, purely for me to judge. Stephen Baldwin not been around for a while. Obviously ruined his career with politics. He went very right wing, didn't he? Which surprising that on the dartboard he's leaning to the left. But yeah, the dart has spoken. He is less famous than could be. So he's what is that? If we're saying the bullseye is the center, right? Bullseye is centrist. So he's about a -2 on the celebrity scale, which still is not bad because I reckon that I am less famous than that. I think I'm much further over to the left. But I mean, we'll see. We haven't thrown a dart for me, so I can't say for sure. However, in terms of watery and pitchy, yeah, see, that's the thing. Stephen Baldwin, obviously, his star has fallen. But I would also say, even though I probably think about you more than I think about Stephen Baldwin, I would say generally Stephen Baldwin is more famous than you still. Yeah, if you know Alec Baldwin, you know Stephen Baldwin. He's he's the worst one, which is hard to say because Alec Baldwin obviously also fairly problematic, but at least he's politically slightly better. Yeah, I reckon he's probably got some more hits in Google. Certainly more hits on Google than he's got at the box office nowadays. I only recently found out that the Baldwin that Bieber is married to is Steven's kid, right? I just assumed that was Alex's daughter. I thought that it was. I thought that maybe Justin Bieber was married to the rude little pig, but it's apparently not the rude little pig, the famous rude little pig. It is. It is Steven's daughter. So that's crazy. No, that's weird. Yeah, I mean to marry a Baldwin in general is quite an odd thing for Bieber to end up doing, but he did, and it was yeah, he didn't even tie into the slightly cooler Baldwin. He married Barney Rubble. Barney Rubble from the Threesome movie. And to those of you who said that they don't even know who Stephen Baldwin is, I imagine that neither of those things I just said made any sense. It is a bold move, and we're going to see if it pays off. The child's going to be called Bieber Baldwin. Bieber, I don't know what the first name would be. BB, I guess. Bieber Baldwin. Bieber Baldwin. I like this. I'm around. All right, I like Stephen Baldwin now. In terms of viscosity, yeah, I can see that. I guess just I don't know. Is he a solid guy? Are we saying that pitchy is more solid though? Pitchy is solid if it's the opposite of watery. It's got to be. But he's dead center. He's absolutely dead center. Bad move? You think that's a bad move? I mean, I'd say it's a bad move for someone whose star was on the rise, but I think that Bieber basically just kind of has to do anything to. I mean, not that his music career isn't obviously still very successful, but I'd say he's maybe better known, like Stephen Baldwin, for his home life troubles now. He hasn't really made any good personal life decisions, none that have been publicized anyway. So how much worse could it get marrying Stephen Baldwin's kid? Maybe Stephen Baldwin's kid's very nice too. I'm not going to judge her by who her dad is. I don't know. Can I do Moby? Yeah, sure. Moby is watery and exquisite. That was that could have gone anywhere. Yeah, Moby is watery and exquisite. He does a bit. Yeah, he's a wet guy. He's got that massive vegan tattoo, hasn't he? Obviously, we've got a lot of vegans in C2, including myself. So it's not as though I think you have to be very wet to be a vegan. But he does seem like a wet guy, doesn't he? Maybe it's just because he's hairless. Maybe it's just because he's always been hairless that he just seems very smooth, I guess. It sort of implies wateriness. Creep to Natalie Portman. Yeah, he did the weird thing in his memoir, didn't he? We talked about them dating. And then she came out and she was like, no, I was a teenager. I've never dated you. The pitch drop experiment uses asphalt. I don't know what that means, numbers. I feel like I should know what that means. I don't know what that means. The pitch drop experiment uses asphalt. Is that your suggestion for what pitchy could mean? Pitchy could mean asphaltum. Yeah, that clears that clears the spectrum up a lot for me actually. That answers a lot of questions I had about what pitchy would mean on a political spectrum. But Moby is not like asphalt. I mean, to be like water is a good thing. That's what Bruce Lee said. You should be like water, adaptable. Moby is certainly that, isn't he? He's spanned genres. I mean, to an extent, he does a lot of unusual sampling. Pitchy, full of pitch. I mean, pitchy can mean different things in different contexts, right? Pitchy can mean a lot of different things in different contexts. As a singer, you don't want to be pitchy. Obviously, Moby is a musician, so he doesn't want to be pitchy. I don't know that he necessarily does a lot of his own vocals. I'm not clear on that. I don't think he does. I don't think any of his biggest hits are him singing. But Moby is watery and exquisite. Yeah, how much can we say about that? I wish I had an anecdote to tell you about Moby, but I don't. The only things I know about him are the things that we've talked about. Natalie Portman, Extreme Ways, great song. Gets worse with every remix he makes of it, though. I'm not sure why he keeps doing that. I guess as long as they keep making Bourne sequels, he's going to keep making a new version of the song that is less exciting than the original was. Be like water, David Foster Wallace. That's a bar moment. That is a certified bar moment we've got in the chat. I only brought 2 darts out with me. I know traditionally you'd have 3, but I only brought 2, so I'm going to grab these. Anybody keeping a record of these? No? Watery and exquisite. Moby. That's a fact. I just hit my step goal doing that. That was good. Who's next? Who is very famous? Glenn Close? Okay, Glenn Close. Quite exquisite. I feel less exquisite than Moby. Can that be true? Has been a while since I've seen her pop up on anything, I guess. Quite pitchy as well. I realize this is basically just a variation on the psychic stream. This is basic. I just like doing random stuff, and not random in the early 2000s, like genuinely having things generated for me and trying to turn them into content on off the cuff. Yeah, this is all true. What is the point of me doing this if these things aren't true? I feel like I should come up with a anecdote, like a talk show story about every celebrity that pops up on this, but I just don't know anything about Glenn Close, really. Glenn Close played a man in 2 different films. As far as I'm just going to rattle off the filmographies and try and turn them into fun Watch Mojo facts. Glenn Close, yeah, she was Albert Nobbs. Was his name Albert Nobbs? That's very on the nose for like, oh, I'm going to be a guy. I'm gonna act like I'm a man. I'm gonna come across as a man. So what's my name? Knob. My name. Dick Penis Haver. That's my name. She was Cruella de Vil. Yeah, she was the second Cruella de Vil I ever saw on screen. Certainly, I think that's the case for a lot of people, especially people roughly my age. Yeah, have you read anything about that new Cruella movie? Sounds insane. Apparently, it is Joker. It's just Joker, but about Cruella. Apparently, it's not even about Cruella de Vil, the character from 101 Dalmatians. It's just someone who looks like her and has the same name. It doesn't. It's not an origin story for the character you know. It's not a prequel. It's just a movie. It's just a movie about a character called Cruella de Vil. It's about the Joker. It's about the Joker. Sure, lots of you have seen that opening clip that has been spread around on Twitter of the Dalmatians attacking her mum, which is very funny. Very funny. And then I find out that it's apparently that's not even like that would be weird even if they were saying this is why she hates Dalmatians. And then everyone in the comments was like, no, she doesn't even hate Dalmatians. She doesn't even hate Dalmatians in this film. She likes them, despite them murdering her mum. Yeah, it's so funny. She just waits for the dogs, and then she must jump off because the dogs don't go with her, and that's not how physics works. I don't think that's how it works. If something flies at you hard enough to knock you off a cliff, it's going with you. I mean, I've never been knocked off a cliff, so maybe I'm wrong. That would be my assumption. I would be, as a screenwriter, I would work very hard to find a reason for that happening the way it did, and apparently not the case. Yeah, the movie needs Buff Kamau, and Angelina Jolie as well is doing those movies. That's weird. Doesn't seem like she would want or need to. But actually thinking about Angelina Jolie, she's I guess she is one of those stars that you think of as being very prestigious and above things, but I guess when you actually think about the sort of thing she does, I guess maybe not. I mean, she did 2 Tomb Raider films and Wanted, so maybe I'm wrong in looking at her in a superhero thing and be like, you don't need to do superhero films. You're respectable. But no. Yeah, stars want money. Stars want money. I've been looking into this and I found it to be true. Owen Wilson is doing sofa adverts over here. And the same company has now started a new campaign with Helena Bonham Carter selling the same sofas. I don't know where they get the money to do this sort of thing. And I don't know why these celebrities feel like they need to do sofa adverts, but good for them, I guess. Maybe they just love sofas. Maybe they love sofas. Yeah, I know. I was thinking about making a new scene where I would actually be somewhere where a dartboard might be, but I it I spent all my tech knowledge figuring out how to put the mask and the equipment on the dartboard so that it would be front facing without me having to throw a dart directly at my camera every time. And I figured that out, and that's as much as I could do. I'm not changing. I'm not moving out my spaceship. Who says you can't have a dartboard on a spaceship? You can have a dartboard on a spaceship. We value high. Shit. Zal, for anyone who can't see the chat, if you're watching on a VOD and it's too small to read, Zal says our modern society values actors higher than doctors. Let that sink in. I mean, it says a lot, doesn't it, about what society values. I mean, let's. I know we're doing celebrities, but society. No, all right. No, I love society. I'm sorry, I love society. Society is exquisite. All right, society is exquisite. A little bit pitchy, but it is exquisite. Yeah, exactly. The dartboard's not on the wall. The dartboard is just floating. If you recall the long shot of this scene, me and the TV are quite far from the wall. It's quite a big room, and we're sort of central in this large open space. It's true. There's never been a famous doctor. There's never been a doctor on TV. Fictional doctors, but those guys are just actors. Grey's Anatomy, she's an actor. Dr. Oz, actor. Dr. Phil, actor. Dr. Ruth, actor. Dr. Ruth did have a sitcom. Did you know this? Dr. Ruth had a sitcom in the 80s, 90s. Which seems weird. Seems like a weird thing that you would pitch for a doctor. But just proves that celebrity doctors are actors. Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci is a celebrity, almost as famous as Pinocchio. Yeah, very good, Zal. Very good. A little bit cheeky, but very good. Very droll. Dr. Ruth. Yeah, Dr. Ruth. I only really know Dr. Ruth over here because she pops up in comedies all the time. I think it was only because she popped up in so many things as herself that I got an idea that she was famous, like an actual person. But yeah, Dr. Ruth, it just had a real string in like sort of what's that company? Zaz, you know, the airplane guys, you know, that style of comedy. Dr. Ruth would always show up in that and, you know, get punched in the face by a funny cop or something. That was the sort of thing. I feel like she was in a scary movie. Was she in a scary movie? I feel like she was in at least one scary movie or something like that. Maybe one of the knockoff scary movies. The you know, the Scream If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th style movies. I've never met Dr. Ruth either, but I have a feeling that she's a God, I'm getting quite a lot of centrist centrist results here. I'm just too good at honing in to the bullseye. Is she dead? Don't know. She was a sniper in the IDF. Okay, we're gonna have to throw again for that one. With the new information, right? Double jeopardy no longer applies. We've got new evidence to submit, so she can be tried again for her crimes. And Dr. Ruth, still quite exquisite, much more watery this time. Much more watery for having been a sniper in the IDF. Not good. No bueno. No bueno, Dr. Ruth. That is the official Cable 2 stance on your military career. That's going to get a big thumbs down from me. It's going to get a big thumbs down from us here at C2HQ. Yeah, that's the thing. Exquisite is a value judgment, but it's not necessarily a positive thing. You can be exquisitely famous. You can be exquisitely infamous. You know, it's just because you're a celebrity. There are lots of celebrities that are no good. OJ Simpson, extremely exquisite. Saddam Hussein, exquisite. George W. Bush, an exquisite man, and a wonderful painter. Very, very, very humble, very funny. Um, yeah, biased towards exquisite, given they're celebrities. Also, because you can't really tell the sort of the spatial setup here, but I am actually quite a lot closer. I can see the right side of the board a lot more easily, where my arm naturally stretches towards the right side of the board. So maybe there's a physical bias here as well. If I aim too much towards the left, it might just stick straight into my wall. If I miss, not that I've missed so far. Obviously, it turns out that I'm an exquisite darts player, as it turns out. If I was throwing for John Williams, you think John Williams is regular? You think John Williams is less famous than Dr. Ruth? That is absurd. You truly are a psycho, Synth. You truly are going bar mode right now if you think that John Williams is less famous than Dr. Ruth. Oh, a different John Williams, not the exquisite John Williams. Okay, fair enough. I take it back. I take it all back. Yeah, all right. Let's do Draza. Let's do Draza. Famous to the C2 audience, naturally, but maybe less famous than John Williams. All right, we ready? It actually did. Okay. Yeah, Draza, you are less famous than Dr. Ruth. You are more regular than Dr. Ruth. You're less watery though, so you got that going for you. Or actually, you are less watery by the way we're doing it, but you have both landed in the 6. You've both landed in the 6. So depending on the metric, you are kind of on the same tier as Dr. Ruth in terms of wateriness. Oh, hi Null. Hey Null. Oh yeah. If you don't know what the setup is, we're doing a coffee.sip style ranking, but instead of being sensible and typing stuff into paint, I'm just flinging darts to my side without looking and seeing where they land, and that's giving us our answers. I barely got a chroma key on me today. I might as well have just been in this bubble as a regular person, and I would have been less hot. As I told you, it's a hot one. It's not a day where you want to be wearing a lycra jumpsuit. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it's a little bit bonkers. Some people think I'm bonkers. I just think I'm free. I'm just living my life. There's nothing crazy about me. That's a bit of English rap for you. I didn't write that. I wish I wrote that. I didn't write that. Let's find out about Bob Mortimer. Oh, I feel like this is a game that Bob Mortimer would enjoy. Actually, if anyone wants to tag him on Twitter and let him know that I'm throwing darts at his name on stream. They laugh at me because I'm bonkers. I laugh at them because I'm bonkers. New merch. Let's get that on a t-shirt, shall we? Let's do a bootleg Joker bonkers Mike. Darts. Who are we throwing it? Oh, Bob Mortimer. Darts. So Bob Mortimer. Center. Thank you. What does the center mean? Let's analyze this. What does the center of exquisite and regular mean? Because regular is not an extreme. If I mean, really, regular should be the center, right? Oh, you're welcome. I know, no. Synth, it was all you. It's all right there on the page. It was all right there on the page already. You know, it's so easy. Your words just flow out. Yeah, maybe that's true. This is a guy who is famous but down to earth. I think that's right. He's someone who I guess the center of regular and celebrity is someone who maybe feels regular but is exquisite. Maybe they feel regular but are exquisite. And I think Bob Mortimer is that. Because that's why he was trending the other day on Twitter, right? Because everybody just really likes him. He's just a fun guy. I found out during that trend that apparently apparently he's a trained lawyer, and he still pays his dues so that he can practice even though he doesn't. And he when Jarvis Cocker got in trouble for crashing the stage during Michael Jackson's performance at the Brits, which I don't know if you know about that. He came on during Earth Song and mooned the crowd as a statement about something. Don't really know. I think he just thought it was a bit pretentious, and he was maybe a little drunk, and he just thought it'd be funny. But Michael Jackson didn't like it, tried to get him arrested for it, and Bob Mortimer stepped in as his legal counsel and got him out of trouble. He claimed Jarvis Cocker as his client and stood in for him, even though Bob Mortimer had also been drinking quite heavily that night and wasn't really in any state to represent anyone legally. But it worked. That's what I heard, and it's a pretty fun story. So there you go. I do have a Bob Mortimer story. I only found it out a couple of days ago, but I like that. I like that about it. I like Bob Mortimer. He used to be on a show when I was a kid. Well, there was this show from the 70s called Randall and Hopkirk Deceased about this detective whose best friend dies and then comes back as a ghost or an angel, but only he can see him. And they carry on working in their detectives practice together, even though one of them is dead and intangible. And they did a remake of it in the early 2000s with Reeves and Mortimer playing the title roles, and I really enjoyed it. No one else did. It got cancelled quite quickly, but I really enjoyed it. It was a fun show. Not the sort of thing you'd think Reeves and Mortimer would do either. It wasn't like this big wacky thing, even though the premise sounds like it would be. It was still paid for like a dramatic kind of supernatural crime thing with like light elements in it, but it wasn't this off the wall eccentric thing. Yeah, he is a true British eccentric though, I think, in a good way. He's not a guy who tries to act like, oh, I'm so crazy, I'm so weird. He just is who he is. You gotta love him. He's the baby. You gotta love him. Somebody else give me a celebrity so I can wildly fling another sharp object. Who's a celebrity? Who's a famous person? Who have you been thinking about lately? Who's on your mind? What song have you got in your head right now, and who sings it? Rowan Atkinson? That was a dangerous one. Don't know if you can even see that on the camera. That was almost off the board. It's right there at the bottom. I might need to move. Where's my mouse? I might need to move Pitchy a bit so you can see that one. There it is, right there, right on top of Pitchy now. So that is as pitchy as you can possibly get. Rowan Atkinson, very pitchy, quite regular too, which is maybe true. So Rowan Atkinson is quite well known for being fairly quiet and reclusive in his real life. It's quite odd. I've never met Rowan Atkinson, but I know a lot of people who have. His My mum was a teacher in London when I was a kid, and Rowan Atkinson's kid at the time went to a school nearby. Didn't go to the school that my mum ran, but went to like the next closest school, and apparently, yeah, he was like notoriously shy and like withdrawn. Didn't want any attention. Didn't want to be recognized. Didn't want to be noticed. So maybe yeah, he comes across as very regular. Until recently, he's had a midlife crisis in the last couple of years. He got married to a 20 something and had a baby with her immediately. He's one of those celebrities. Not that we're here to judge, but it's pretty odd. Uh, yeah, I like Mr. Bean. Yeah, I don't know if you're not really supposed to like Mr. Bean. I feel like it's one of those things that you should scoff at. You should be like, come on, Mr. Bean, that's stupid. But I like Mr. Bean. I think it's pretty funny. I haven't watched it in a long time. Maybe it's not that funny. There is a Mrs. Bean. Um, he does have a girlfriend in the series. Mr. Bean does have a recurring girlfriend. Her name is Irma, I think, and she is she's also quite quiet. She's like a librarian or something. She's a kind of nerd, I guess. Um, and I mean, he seems difficult to live with. God bless her. She has the patience of a saint putting up with him. I relate to Mr. Bean, sure. I would hire Mr. Bean. I think he just needs to be given a chance. I think Mr. Bean just needs to be given it. He's one of those guys. We wrote him off when the show came out because we didn't understand things the way we do now. It's like, nowadays we can recognize all these kind of neurodivergencies. We can recognize these different learning styles. Some kids just don't get on with like traditional things. Some people's minds just work differently. They're good at certain types of job. I think Mr. Bean has just never been given the right opportunity in the right field. I think once he finds his passion, once he finds his path, he's gonna make waves. He is gonna make waves. Yeah, I can dart, Mr. Bean. Have I got? Oh no, I've used up both my darts. This is why professionals have 3 darts. Isn't that, you learned his name is Mr.? What do you think his name was? He's Mr. Bean. Yeah, I would hire Mr. Bean to babysit. If I needed someone to drive my car back from a hotel after I had to catch a cab with somebody else for business reasons, I would absolutely let him drive my car on the motorway from Bristol to Hampshire. I would let him do that, and I'm sure it would go off without a hitch. Mr. Bean is destroying this board. I can see the splits. Fairly exquisite. So Mr. Bean obviously is very different. I don't know if that. Yeah, I guess it's quite far. I don't know. I've never been to Bristol or Hampshire, so I couldn't tell you for sure. I think they're quite far away from each other. Yeah, Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean can watch your watermelons. Is Mr. Magoo cancelled? I feel like Mr. Magoo got cancelled. Mr. Bean is a sensitive and realistic portrayal of a certain type of man. Mr. Magoo is just taking the piss, as we say over here. Taking the piss. Unfair. But there was a Magoo movie, right? I don't think it was very well received. Not like the Bean movies, which took Hollywood by storm. I think the Mr. Magoo movie is Leslie Nielsen too. Speaking of Zaz, yeah, I guess Mr. Bean is the British Ernest. I don't really know much about Ernest. Ernest has never been popular over here. I sort of know about Ernest just because I have an interest in your mysterious Yankee pop culture. But yeah, I think they have similarities. Except Ernest can talk, right? Ernest talks. Mr. Bean. Well, Mr. Bean in the series doesn't talk much. He says the odd word, but Mr. Bean in the movies gives speeches, which I always found weird. You solve the lament configuration, and one of the Cenobites is Mr. Bean with his head stuck in a turkey. I would love that. I think I especially like that because obviously the Cenobites thing is about pain as pleasure. So I guess there's an implication there that sticking his head in the turkey was a way for him to get off, and that he's going to somehow murder you by making you feel such extreme pleasures, reach such heights of sexual satisfaction through turkey usage that you will be dragged straight to hell. Which again, Mr. Bean, very relatable, very relatable. We can do Mr. Magoo, sure. I mean, I think you were right to compare them. You were right to put them. They are identical. They are identically placed on the spectrum. I couldn't have done that if I wanted to. I could not have planned for that. So yeah, Magoo and Bean perfectly matched. It's like Jet Li's The One, where I can't even imagine them fighting really because they would always know each other's moves. They're both equally exquisite, equally at the epicenter, at the junction of watery and pitchy, whatever that means in the context of Mr. Bean and Mr. Magoo. I like this format. This format doesn't mean anything, does it? This format doesn't mean anything, but I enjoy this. It gives me an excuse just to talk. I just like I don't like hearing my own voice, but I like making you hear my own voice. That's basically that's my thing. That would be my Cenobite. Would be someone who just made me talk for hours on end. It means something to me too, damn it. It's effervescently meaningless. Thank you so much, Crime Puddles. Thanks, Ben. Let's collect some darts. Wonder if we're going to get a perfect centrist at any point during this. That would be cool as hell. What's happened to Pitchy? Okay. I just sat down and somehow made this happen. So now the spectrum is evolving. The spectrum is evolving. Yes. No, Druzzy, when you decided to start doing tier lists to rank stuff on coffee.sip, I didn't realize what a revolution, what an innovation that was in streaming technology, in the field of format invention. That just getting an audience to rate things on a scale that you've invented, such as making them say blue is red because that's the best choice they have. It is great content. It is such great content. I love I like this. I don't know why I wasted all that time making games and making videos and coming up with characters. Why did I do that? I had a dartboard this whole time. I had a dartboard this whole time. Um, Ken Burns. Ken Burns, watery, a watery everyman, a famous watery man who seems regular. Ken Burns. Ken Burns, not pitchy, not bitchy. Rather, is that what we've decided that means? That's if you're bitchy in the upside down, you know, when 11 is in a bad mood, that's what you get. Not that I would ever use such a term to describe someone who's just trying their best. Ken Burns, what does Ken Burns' hair look like? I don't think I know what Ken Burns looked like. I just know him as a disembodied voice on a bunch of documentaries that I have not watched. That some people like, some people don't. Everyone's a critic, aren't they? Everyone wants to complain about documentary filmmakers. Everyone's got an opinion. Great hair, does he? Should we do one for Ken Burns' hair? Ken Burns' hair, far more watery than the rest of the man. I guess when you take everything else into account, I'm getting closer to the center. If I had more darts, I would make a line directly down the center right now. Yeah, I guess the rest of him is bitchier than it is watery. So that evens him out, that levels him out a little bit. But the hair is watery. The hair is really skewing the average. Now, you haven't, Seth. If you're having trouble deciding something, boy, do I have a concept for you. Now, is a sandwich a celebrity? Let's find out together, shall we? We're learning. As Drazza said, we're making sense and telling the truth. And sometimes you don't know what the truth is until you fling a dart at it. So why don't we find out? Brie and Fig was the classic T2 sandwich order. Who was it who ran the sandwich shop? Was it Toilet? I feel like it was Toilet. So what's our choices between? I don't know how to make this into a multiple choice thing. I have 2 darts though, so we can do 2 choices. So a Brie and Fig. Okay, so here's what we need to do. We need to decide what part of this spectrum your ideal sandwich would land on. Okay, that's how we do it. Seth, if you were to choose a sandwich, would you want it to be watery, bitchy? Would you like it to be exquisite or regular? What sense do you have? What vibe does this sandwich need to? What vibe check does this sandwich need to pass specifically for you to be happy with it? Anything at Subway that isn't spicy or not chicken. Well, I would say both of those choices cover the not spicy, not chicken portion of it. Don't know if either are available at Subway as standard, but you know, you can custom make your own sub. You don't need to choose straight off the menu, do you? Sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Right, so a sweet onion. Okay, we're going to need to. All right, so this is what a sweet onion is, and then I'll throw it again. You want it to be okay? No, you've decided you want it to be exquisite and pitchy. We've moved on from pitchy. It's no longer pitchy. It's whatever that says at the bottom now. But you want it to be exquisite and speaking in tongues. Okay, so that's what you want it to be. Okay, so this dart represents a sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Okay. Now, a sweet onion chicken teriyaki is exquisite. It's not that pitchy. Okay. So we're going to need another choice because that just does not cut it. I mean, it covers half the criteria. Maybe you're okay with that. Maybe it doesn't need to be your perfect sandwich. Maybe it doesn't need to be the best sandwich ever made. But that is what you're looking at right now with the sweet onion chicken teriyaki. In terms of a meatball, you want a tuna. You want a tuna sandwich. You want a cable tuna sandwich. Okay. So a cable tuna sandwich is like this. Didn't even look at the board that time. That is, we've moved away from exquisite. We are slightly closer to pitchy. We're slightly closer to that. So neither of them exactly fulfill your order. I know you would think a tuna sandwich would be one of the wateriest choices, but the darts do not lie. So now we want an Italian sandwich. Okay. What am I doing? What am I doing today? An Italian sandwich is, I mean, that's exquisite. That's pitchy. You don't know which words don't you know? Oh, hambon beurre. Yeah, look. Don't question the darts, okay? You've seen me do tarot. You know that I have a channel to the other side. You know that whatever I touch turns to truth. So yeah, Italian sandwich so far is the most exquisite pitchy sandwich that we've had on the order. Some Subway's hambon beurre is. You just trying to say camembert? Pretty close to an Italian. Pretty close to an Italian. Less pitchy. Maybe a little bit more exquisite, but less pitchy. I think so far the perfect medium is the Italian sandwich. I think that is as close as we've got all stream. Well, I was just checking the chat there. I'm having weird things. The Twitch app on my phone is not showing me any stats anymore, which is not important, but it's curious. It's interesting to me. We're almost at the end now. I know we've gone a little over. We went a little over on Gartic Phone, so we're still making up for it. So if anyone has anything else we need to judge, anyone has any other celebrities, we have moved quite far away from the celebrities now. But I'm just discovering the potential of the board. I'm discovering what I can do with it. Being very careful not to move the board too much or it's going to ruin my mask. Maiko from Twitch. Yeah, everybody knows that guy. Everybody knows that guy. He's so exquisite you can't even see him on the board. There we go. He's pretty exquisite and perfectly set. I'm just too. I guess Maiko's a centrist. I guess that is just the thing we're learning today, that I can't go anywhere but the center. Well, I guess I'm. I guess pretty much every dart has gone center right, which please don't read too much. Please don't read too much into that. The most celebrity sandwich is I guess it would be a Subway, because they had that famous guy Jared always talking about them. What he was famous for, I guess we'll never know. Null. Sorry, Null. You're not as well known as I am. That's just how things are. Not my words, the words of the board. You are. I need a. This is starting to feel less random than it could have been. Seeing as almost every dart goes in the same place. You're slightly less famous than I am. You're slightly less exquisite than I am. You're a bit more regular, and slightly pitchier. It's true. It's true. I do run the TikTok. Anyone else is allowed. Anyone else in the stream team. If you wanna upload a TikTok, you can. I'll give you the deets. It's just that I'm the only one who does. That's all. But I have used that power to make myself into a TikTok celebrity. I am making sure that it's always my face attached to anything that has any potential to go viral. I'm just good at personal branding in that way. That's why I steal your content and put my name on it as well. Because you didn't get there, and you snooze, you lose. Do Manny Calavera or the Salt Bay? Let's do both. Getting into the big shots now. We started off with Stephen Baldwin, and now we're on to Funny Bones Man from the video game. Funny Bones Man is an everyman, or a famous guy who seems like an everyman. A little bit watery. You wouldn't expect him to be watery. This is the reverse tuna sandwich. You would think a guy who is Bones would be quite dry, and I guess he is quite dry. There's just more moisture than you would think. That is a little higher towards watery than I ever would have thought. Salt Bay, however, now if Salt Bay's watery, that's going to be strange, unless of course it's seawater, I suppose. But let's find out. Pitchy. Quite pitchy. I suppose that Salt Bay, I don't know, I feel like Salt Bay was someone who was being auto-tuned. You know, I feel like that was during, maybe not, maybe I'm getting my eras wrong. Maybe he was post auto-tune, the news style content. But I feel like Salt Bay was someone who would have had auto-tune applied. So maybe pitchy's accurate in a vocal sense. Yeah, there's dry bones, but no wet bones. That has been my personal experience with bones. Although, having said that, that's only bones that have been out of the skin for a long time. That's only bones that have been out of the skin for a long time. The bones that are inside us right now, fairly wet, I would assume, coated in all sorts of liquids. Watery liquids, apparently, according to the board. I don't know how long has Manny been dead for? Has that been clarified? Is that written into the lore of the story of Grim Fandango? I don't know. It's been a long time since I played it, and maybe Noel just hasn't gotten to the chapter that explains exactly how long it's been since Manny was brutally murdered before the start of the story. Yeah, we're just talking some bones. Talking bones. This is my podcast about the Emily Deschanel comedy drama Bones, which stars Emily Deschanel as a character named Bones, who works with bones. In a stunning coincidence. It's kind of weird when her parents named their Bones. Do you think they knew? Do you think they knew that one day she would be working with bones professionally? Do you know bones have magic to make them dry? Always surrounded by wet stuff, but they're always dry. Is that true? Is that true? If I were to... I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think if I were to cut my arm down to the bone right now, that would be a wet bone. Now, I'm not going to do it live on camera because I have a suspicion that Noel will shout at me and tell me that it is against the Twitch TOS for whatever reason, for whatever, puritanical reason that might be. But I suspect that's true. There's a special dry mucus thing that makes them dry all the time. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I think when you find bones, you have to clean them off. You have to clean the wet off of them. Try and find out. Don't push me. I will do it. I will do it. Parody online joke. I think you would react poorly, Noel. I think you would react badly to me slicing my arm open on camera right now. I don't even think I'm allowed to talk about slicing my arm open on camera. I think even joking about it is putting us close to very hot water. That is my imagination. All right, let's see. Moving very far from the initial premise of how the dartboard works, but let's see. How would Noel react if I were to cut my arm down to the bone right now, just to test, just to test how dry it was? You would be exquisitely watery about that, Noel. You would be exquisitely watery. I lost my little feather. You would be exquisitely watery if I were to do that. As soon as you open it, oh, isn't that convenient? That's like when people say that blood isn't red until it gets out of your body. How would you know? That's a lie. Almost everything they say about bodies is a lie. They say that your blood is blue until it gets out of your body. No one has ever seen blood until it's out of the body. It's not like we do the thing where you turn yourself tiny and go on a little submarine and experience it firsthand inside. It's not true. Maybe it reacts funny to oxygen. How would I know? I've never seen blood in an oxygen-free atmosphere, and neither has anybody else. Yeah, I'm learning too. I'm learning too. Can you believe I was in the lowest the lowest tier of science class at my school? Can you believe that? I went to a specialist school and I had to do double science exams, and you get put into different sets for how likely they think you are to ruin their national test scores. And I got put lower down, which is obviously ridiculous. You can tell how much I know about science and anatomy. You've got a Subway deal, so you're getting tuna and Italian. You can tell us then. You can tell us how accurate the darts were when you get them both. I thought the point of blood was to have oxygen too. It's ridiculous. They lie so much about blood. Can you imagine an Italian fish? Yeah, it'd probably be like, mamma mia, put mia with a pasta. That's how I think it would go anyway. I feel like my Italian accent's got a lot better since the Matrix stream. And it was already really good, so that is saying quite a lot. Oxygen makes oxygen red, so if it doesn't react to oxygen, it's blue. Well, now we're getting into coffee.sip territory. You can't put cheese on me. Yeah, it would be like, Mamma mia, chili oil on a fish. Chili oil is a Spanish. That's based on a true story. I was at an Italian restaurant once, and they offered me chili oil, and when I said yes, the waiter said, Mamma mia. And that's true. First of all, I didn't know that people actually said Mamma Mia. He said Mamma Mia, and then he told me that chili oil was Spanish, and that it had no place in an Italian restaurant. I was like, well, you offered it to me. It's not my fault. I like chili oil, and I don't feel like I need to pretend to be Italian while I'm here. If you got chili oil, I'll take chili oil. It sounds like it would go really well with this dish. Why do I think the sky is blue? Because of the blood. I'm lost. I've forgotten. I've forgotten what the theory was. I failed the test, clearly. I failed the test. This Italian waiter wanted me to only put Italian condiments with my Italian dish. This wasn't even in Italy. This was in England. He was Italian. The restaurant was Italian themed, but I think he was one of very few actual Italians who worked there. Maybe he was just angry in general about how they were disrespecting the cuisine of his motherland, and I would be too. Was I supposed to be throwing a dart for something? I don't remember. We already did Salt Bay, right? We did Salt Bay. Seth's already got the sandwich. We've learned about blood. We've learned about bones. I feel like this has been successful, and maybe because I've got a dart in my hand still, I feel like I want to throw it. So I will need you to throw out one more thing. Jason Mraz will be our final one, and then I'm going to log off. Today has been a successful, productive stream. Oh, Super Mario, that's too good not to do. I'm going to do that as well. All right, two more. No, I need a third because then I'm still going to have a dart left over in my hand. So Jason Mraz, center right again. What's going on? Is exquisite and neither watery or pitchy. Nobody's watery. It turns out there's good and bad in all of us. There's water and pitch in all of us. You know, people contain multitudes. Jason Mraz, like the rest of us, a complicated cat who nobody understands but his woman, is what I think I was trying to say. Super Mario and then Princess Peach. Done it. Let's lock it in. Lost the dartboard. Have lost the dartboard. It's still here in person. Just disappeared on the stream. Not sure why. Gonna throw it anyway. Maybe it'll reappear. Be weird if the dart showed up and the dartboard didn't. Wouldn't that be weird? Probably won't happen. Wouldn't it be weird? The dartboard has been DMCA striped. I deliberately had it on this side. It's a reversible dartboard. The other side has a brand logo on it, so I did it this way, so as not to have somebody else's brand on stream, especially as it's not a brand that I necessarily want to advertise. Did we do Jason Mraz? No, this is for Jason Mraz. No, we did Jason Mraz. This is for Super Mario. Okay. I'm not sure. I'm going to throw it in the direction of where the dartboard was. It might not be there anymore. Even if it is, you won't know where it lands. I could not even throw it, and I could just lie. Like, I just got a bullseye. You can't see it. I just got a bullseye. I just got a bullseye. It's a shame that you can't see it because the dart is right in the center now. It's basically the hardest shot to make, the hardest single shot you can make in darts. But I did it. I achieved it. It's great. I'm so sad that you can't see it. That is just such a shame that it's disappeared for you all. What is going on? Why isn't it there? Why aren't you there? There we go. It was apparently still on the screen. It just went over to the top corner. Don't know why. Oh, the dart fell out. It was in the bullseye. Don't worry about it. It wasn't there. Oh, we've got it. We've got a sound. I can see it's coming up. Oh no, it's coming up underneath the dartboard. Coming up underneath the dartboard. That's no good. That's not what we want. Quick, down, down. There we go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Just taking there we go. Everything's taking its way. I don't know if I'm really pushing it to the limits. I think I've still got Discord open, which is upsetting it. I might still be in the Discord chat right now. I don't think I actually hung up. I might be the only one in there right now. Yeah, I am. I'm still in Garlic Radio, and I'm just talking. Any one of you could have turned up on stream right now if you'd wanted to, and you didn't even think about it, did you? When did you say alien? You just did. What's going on? What's the squeak? Is that someone raiding? Yeah, okay. Okay. I heard Seth say alien. I did hear Seth say alien. If that's really confusing you, if you think that I added a command that makes it say you, it is randomized. I told you I just love randomizing content. I like generating things. And I figured out how to do it on Streambot. So I've just got a bunch of things that are Streambot. Yeah, sorry, you're connected to Commander Root now. Anyone can match and anyone can say alien. Oh my god. Curse, that is so embarrassing. Your soulmate just said alien. That's the person that you're bonded to for life. They just said alien. That is so humiliating. That is so embarrassing. I would want to hold to swallow me up if that were me, Synth. Because you can't break up. That's your soulmate. It doesn't say that's just your partner that you've got to put up with. That's your soulmate. You're stuck. You're stuck with someone who says alien, if you can even imagine. Mario. Mario, exquisite, pitchy, preach, Princess Preach is watery and slightly exquisite, not that exquisite. And that is how we play oche.sip. Yeah, Commander Root is just one of those bots that shows up on streams for no good reason. Don't really know why. It's like another TV viewer, like one of them. Crime Puddles is whoa. Null and Puddle sitting in a tree doing what they shouldn't be. Princess Preach. Princess Preach. So yeah, that's oche.sip. That's how the show is done. That's how the game is played. That's how you find out everything you need to know about celebrities, about sandwiches, about saying alien. Yeah, don't worry. I'm allowed to because I'm the host, so I can just hide behind the idea that it's a persona, that I'm not really making fun of someone. It's just all fun and games, even though I actually mean every word of it. Crime Puddles and Null just said alien. I heard them both. I heard them both say alien together at the same time, which is how that you know that they're soulmates. It's how you know they're supposed to be together forever. So thank you, everybody. No one's even using the command anymore. You're just all accusing each other of saying alien. Just doing it. You're just doing it. So I'm going to leave you all to fight amongst yourselves. Later on, we've got a fantasy flight. We've got a warp zone. No, I didn't say alien. Nobody remember that the reason alien exists is because I might have said alien on a real stream. I might have. I didn't. I definitely didn't. I wouldn't. Thanks for joining me. We've got Arby later. We've got Null later. We've got who knows? I don't know what. Maybe there'll be another group thing. Maybe there'll be more dodgeball or Gartic phone, or who knows? Who knows? Yeah, clip it. Clip everything. I don't know what you're talking about, but clip it all. Just get it all clipped. And I will catch you all next week. Remember to be kind to every version of yourself throughout the multiverse. Love you all, and I will see you later.